Hey everybody, welcome back to Board Game Blender. I am Zee Garcia. Today we're talking about 2015 in gaming, the whole year in review. We're going to be talking about our favorite games of the year. We're going to be talking about trends in gaming that excite us. We're going to be talking statistics over the year, games we've played, things like that. We're even going to be taking a look at our own series of awards, so check that out. All right, I will say there's one trend in the year that I think I'm very happy about, and I think is a very exciting thing for the future. And that is, this year there has been a lot of games that are heavily thematic, but they are not what is traditionally known as an American style game. And what I mean by that is games that are very story-driven games, whether they be cooperative games like Pandemic Legacy, like Time Stories, or whether they be deduction games like Watson and Holmes. All these games are coming out, and they are all very thematic. They are steeped in story, steeped in setting, but they are largely European-style games in the way that they play. And that's one trend that's got me, personally, very, very excited for the future, because I just love being able to bring those two things together. Great theme, great storytelling, a game that really, captivates me, and mechanics that are not entirely luck-based or have a lot of random swings or things like that. So that is awesome stuff. All right, so here we go for more of 2015 in gaming. Let's take a look.
Welcome to the annual Würfel Awards night. We are broadcasting directly from our home, from Estonia. And here are your hosts, Ilya and Alina. But let's skip all that stuff and go straight to the awards. The first award is the Veruca Soul Award.
This award goes to the most anticipated game. The game that we either knew coming or perhaps we pre-ordered it and we could not wait to get it.
And the nominations are Chaosmos, Elysium, Raptor, and Trickerion Legends of Illusion.
So let's find out who is the winner. And the winner is
Trickerion Legends of Illusion. Congratulations. This game, I was waiting for so long. It came from the Kickstarter. It was one of the most anticipated games because it had really cool theme, really cool artwork of magicians, worker placement game that I really like. This mechanic that I really like. So I could not wait for this game.
And Ilya was talking about the game so much, it was incredible, and I felt I just don't want to hear about the game anything at all.
Hi everyone, it's MAGGIBOT, and we are very rapidly approaching the end of the year, which means a lot of top 10 lists and most best lists and all those things. But at my house, the holidays just mean an excuse to sit around my table and play games until we drop. 2015 provided a lot of fodder to help me out with that. And I really wanted to highlight a couple of games that made some big changes for me. I won't go about the Gallerist because I talked about it last time, but the deluxe edition of Orleans from Tasty Minstrel and BLP Games, it's beautiful and functional, and it uses bag building in a way that most other games couldn't dream of. Hyperborea, you kind of get pushed out by this. Food Chain Magnate just got its license from Passport Game Studios to come out next year widely. And what's wonderful about Food Chain Magnate getting picked up is that it might also lead to more Splatter games getting picked up in a wide release. So Indonesia, Antiquity, things like that being in your local game store would be just so fabulous to me. Nautilus Industries was a huge sleeper hit for me. I don't hear enough about it, but it's a really cool, fun, mean little market game. La Granja going out wide release from Stronghold Games. It's a mix of lots of different games that they credit in the rules, but it stands up on its own and it's very fun and replayable. And then you come to something like Favor the Pharaoh. So Favor the Pharaoh is a reimagining of To Court the King. It's from Tom Lehman and Bezier Games. They did a great job of making sure it was beautiful and functional, and the insert is great. But it also just kind of reminds me of when I was super new and I went to a meetup, like a public meetup, and someone brought out To Court the King. And it was one of the first times I remember being surprised that something that was so familiar to my Parker Brother Monopoly mentality turned out to be a strategic, tactics-based game. So I know Yahtzee, I can roll dice, but the person that taught the game, that played it the most, won hands down. And that showed me that there was a little more going on beneath the surface. And if I have a Christmas wish this year, which I totally do, it is to see Ponzi Scheme released widely into the US in 2016. I would love to see someone pick this up, which I know people are working on it, but Ponzi Scheme would be such a fabulous game to share with all of my friends. It is a gamer's party game. Where I say gamer's party game, I mean it's a party game, but you wouldn't want to show it to people that don't mind a few different roles, because it's got a little bit going on and some heavy negotiation. But it is so fun, and it's great for the end of an evening just to finish you off strongly. And it's kind of funny when you happen to be the person that takes down the rest of the game because you can't pay off your loans. That's all for me for now, and I'll see y'all in the new year.
Hey folks, welcome back to another episode of Real Talk with Sam. Thanks for being a friend of the blend. And this is kind of like a, as far as I know, it's like a year in review type of episode. And well, we've already done our year in review videos for the Dice Tower, so I kind of said everything I would want to say on those things. However, I guess I could give a little bit of a recap just so it kind of whets your appetite for those other videos if you haven't seen them yet. But anyway, 2015 has been an awesome year for me, especially because, first of all, I was able to come on full-time with the Dice Tower, and that's been an awesome opportunity that I've had, and I'm very thankful for it. It wasn't exactly what I was expecting. Kind of felt like at some points during the year, what did I do? Did I bite off more than I can chew? You know, that kind of feeling. But overall, it's been something that has been a very enjoyable experience, and part of the experience has been being able to meet a lot of you folks that go into a lot of the bigger cons of the year. That's been a really cool thing because, quite frankly, you know, we're just, right now, it's kind of early in the morning, and it's just me in my game room with a camera, and that's it. And so being able to make that connection with a lot of you guys, including, you know, the people that watch the show, the listeners that listen to the podcast, and all that kind of stuff. And then on top of that, being able to meet designers and people that are in the industry, different company owners and that type of stuff, and being able to make those personal connections, that's been a real highlight of my year this year. Working with Tom and Zee has been also just a great thing. I love going to work, and that's something that I haven't really felt in quite some time. I mean, I enjoy getting up. I enjoy going to work, and that's just something that's different. So, very cool there. My best game of the year, you probably already know this, even if you haven't watched our our top 10 of 2015. But my favorite game of the year has been Blood Rage. Eric Lang has been knocking it out of the park with a lot of his designs lately, and this one was the one that really hit home with me. I really enjoy Viking themes. I really enjoy the hybrid nature of this, how it's not all Ameritrash and it's not all Euro. It's kind of a mixture of a bunch of different kind of mechanisms that both of those camps are known for, and that's the reason why I really have enjoyed Blood Rage. It didn't fall on one side of the fence or the other. It's straddling a top ruling, at least in my opinion. So that's Blood Rage. And another one that kind of came along really, really late, that if it had come out a little bit earlier, probably would have made my top 10 of 2015, and that is this guy right here. Now, you might be thinking, but wait a minute, Sam, you don't like Zombicide. Matter of fact, it was one of your least favorite overrated games. Well, that is true, but Zombicide Black Plague took a lot of what I did not like about Zombicide and changed it. Not only did they change some of those mechanisms and rules, they also changed the theme or the setting. And for me, that makes a big, huge deal. I really like the medieval setting of Zombicide Black Plague, and I like how they changed the friendly fire rules. You don't have to shoot the survivor first. You can, you only hit survivors if you miss, and all that other kind of stuff. I really do enjoy how you're running around with crossbows and swords and axes, and there's a dwarf who seems to be one of the more powerful characters. So Zombicide Black Plague probably would have made my top 10 had it come out before that list was made. So there you have it. Want to add that in there as well. Otherwise, man, I'm looking forward to 2016. We have our Kickstarter coming up really soon, and looking forward to that because there's a lot of cool stuff that we're giving away for promos and rewards and that kind of thing. So please tune in for that. And as always, thank you so much for watching. It's means everything to us because, you know, this is what we're doing. So see you on the flip side, folks.
Now the IKEA Awards.
This award goes to the game that might be really good or might be good, but the bad thing about the game is the rulebook. Not the rules, but the rulebook was either hard to understand or just really fiddly.
And the nominations are Artifacts Inc., Loop Inc., Mottainai, Operation Kindergarten.
Shall we find out?
Let's see.
I'm excited. Are you?
Not really, it's the worst rulebook. Alright, let's see.
And the winner is
Operation Kindergarten. Now, this game is not bad at all. It's a great theme, it's really cool game, mechanically cool game. The rules are interesting mechanically, but the rulebook is not written well. There are some really big flaws in the rulebook, less pictures, and it's just hard to understand how to play the game. But once you understand it, the game itself is really great. So you can check it out. Operation Kindergarten.
I am personally really sorry for that because I love the game and I feel that people will not give this game a second chance if they will not understand the rules or perhaps if they will play with the wrong rules. So if you want to give the game a chance, play it and ask questions from us or from the designer direct.
Hey guys, Tiff here, and as we're moving into the new year, I've been thinking about how things have been going with my middle school board game club. Since we started out a little over a year ago, the group's grown from just 5 members to 20. Along the way, I've learned a lot about what kinds of games work for my particular blend of 6th, 7th, and 8th graders. They each have vastly different tastes in themes, artwork, and gameplay, but there are a few games that keep coming back to the table. So today I wanted to take time to reflect on the top 5 most replayed games that I've recommended so far. At the number 5 spot, we have Escape: Curse of the Temple. If it weren't for the need of a soundtrack or timer, I think this one would come out even more often than it already does. The kids seem to be drawn to the frantic pacing and Indiana Jones-esque theme. They need an occasional break from competitive games, and they seem to enjoy the uniqueness that the cooperative gameplay provides. Number 4 is Animal Upon Animal in all of its various forms. Stacking games in general seem to go over well, but Animal Upon Animal has great chunky pieces that add a little character and visual appeal. It seems there's no replacement for the simple tension of anticipating exactly when your giant tower of animals is going to come crashing down. Number 3 is Batman Love Letter. Micro games are simple and quick, so naturally they get replayed often, but this one is particularly popular, and I attribute it to the theme. Everyone likes Batman, and the great artwork and tiny bat signal tokens definitely help get this one to the table over and over again. Number 2, Rumble in the Dungeon, is probably the most surprising one to me. I honestly didn't expect the kids to love this game as much as they do, but it gets played every single week. Sure, the different characters are funny, but I think it's the bluffing and trying to guess which characters belong to each player that brings my group back to this game so often. Number 1 should come as no surprise. Not only does King of Tokyo get played every week at Board Game Club, we have 2 copies of the game and the expansions. In fact, I think this is the only game the kids have played enough to warrant expanding. It doesn't appeal to everyone, some shy away from the direct confrontation, but for the ones who do play it, it's generally regarded as a favorite, must-play game, and many of them have purchased their own copies to play at home. Looking over all these games, they really don't have much in common. The art styles and components are all very different. The game mechanisms range from dexterity to hand management to dice rolling. Most are competitive, but not all. So what is it that binds these games together and compels the kids to request them time and time again? All I can come up with is that they're fun. It's an obvious answer, but it made me realize there is no magic, this always works solution for choosing games, especially for teenagers. Finding what's right for any game group comes down to trial and error. There are certain characteristics that may appeal to my group, like cartoony artwork or take-that gameplay, but we've tried games with those elements that have failed miserably. The bottom line is, if you think a game is fun and can present it enthusiastically, it's worth trying. I know I'm looking forward to trying out a few more games in 2016, so I'll see you back next time.
The Refrigerator Hanging Awards.
This award goes to the game with the best artwork, the best look. The game is so beautiful that you believe you could hang on your refrigerator.
So, and the nominations are Blood Rage, Viceroy, Elysium, Tail Feathers, Trickerion Legends of Illusion, Simurgh, and Tide of Time. Let's find out. What's the game?
Let's find out.
Are you excited? I think I am. So, let's see.
And the winner is Elysium!
Elysium. It's a really great artwork on all the cards. 8 different artists have been passionate about this game, so they made really cool art in this game. I think the look of the box is great as well, although it's not shiny, but it's minimalistic, it's stylish.
And they even worked on the insert, so even the insert and everything there looks gorgeous and amazing.
Has a great look. For me, it's like an art, at least. Let's congratulate Elysium.
Hey folks, welcome to Corner Chat. This week we have the entire Board Game Corner team here. I'm Mark.
I'm Ann.
And I'm Randy.
Randy, why don't you kick us off? What's your favorite game this year?
Well,
or surprise?
Okay, I won't say it's my absolute favorite because I have trouble ranking all of them, but one of my definite favorites of 2015 is actually a game I played in 2014, and it is also one of the biggest surprises because it is an economic game about trading stocks. And the reason it was a surprise is that one of the developers of the game lives in Denver, came up to Fort Collins to teach us how to play it, and he invited not only Mark and I, but also our wives. And the surprising part was that not only did Mark and I enjoy it, an economic game, which isn't really up our alley, but our wives did as well. It's a very accessible game. Yeah. The game is called Stockpile, and it has some characters in there that are reminiscent of people who are in corporate America and who are in financial trading. It's a very easy to play, but fun to play game about trading stocks.
Yeah, I also was very surprised. I would not have given this game a second look on the shelf, but Brett brought it up, and it was just so good. It was so fun. I mean, you got to play it recently, didn't you?
Yeah, definitely. I've played it twice now, a 5-player game and the 2-player game as well, and I love it. It's definitely on my top favorites of this year.
Awesome.
So thanks to Brett and Seth for creating such a great game this year.
Definitely. How about you, Ann?
Okay, so one of my favorites this year has to go to Pandemic Legacy. I was a huge fan of Pandemic to begin with, and then you add the Legacy element on top of that, all of the doors and the boxes and the prizes. It's like Christmas every day, and I loved it. I had high expectations when I heard about it, and it did not disappoint me at all.
And I like it as well. Yeah, and Anne's has played it through all the way once, and she's playing through a second time with Mark and I.
Yep. The co-op experience is fantastic.
It is.
You really should check it out if you haven't already. It's total memorable gaming experience. And I think Randy noted that it's like Christmas, but not a good Christmas.
Not a good Christmas, no. Instead of good gifts, you're getting coal in all your stockings and packages every month, I guess it is.
So for me, of course, this year has been full of awesome co-ops and miniature games. And for me, Blood Rage is the top of my list. It's just so good. You're Vikings and Ragnarok is upon you, and it's your last chance to get into Valhalla, and just so many great ways and different things you can do in this game. You can go out in blaze of glory and gain points that way. You can equip your guys to just do so many different things to get you those victory points.
It's a fun game. The miniatures are awesome. It's a little bit Viking. It's a little bit Klingon, because you can hear them saying, "Today is a good day to die."
Exactly.
And it's a little bit Lemming, because you say, "Okay, I'm just going to send those guys in there and let them die." Just, yay, they died.
Yep. And they go out in a blaze of glory.
They do.
Right? Yep. So I love that there's so many different strategies in this game that you can win with. I've won multiple different ways, and it's just really well done. The miniatures are phenomenal in this game. One of the best of the year for sure. Now, some of the surprises this year, let's talk about. So for me, the big one for me was the Grizzled.
Yep.
Especially coming from Cool Mini or Not.
Yeah. Now, Cool Mini or Not did a lot of good games this year, fun games, but it's surprising that I think the best game of theirs this year, and one of the best games of the year all around, had no cool minis.
Right.
Yeah.
It was just a little card game.
Yeah, and we played it with a number of groups. It's very portable and it's very accessible. And if you have a masochistic streak, you need this game.
Yes, indeed. It totally came out of nowhere for me too. Like I played it at Gen Con and immediately had to go buy it the next day. So it's one of those games.
We were playing at what, 2 a.m. or something?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
It was definitely a pleasant surprise for me whenever Mark said a game from Cool Mini or Not. I was like, okay. Pulled it out. Amazing artwork.
Yep.
So fun. So challenging. I've yet to introduce it to someone who didn't love it.
Yeah, it's phenomenal. And like you said, the artwork is just really unique looking. I really like it. How about you, surprises?
So my surprise has to go to Spectre Ops.
Yes.
It was about the second, maybe third game that Mark texted me and said, "Hey, we're going to play Spectre Ops to review it." Heard the name and I was like, okay, that sounds like a game about war and battling. And even if you look at the box, it's like kind of intense. It's red and blue, metal. Pulled out the board, blew me away.
Yeah.
I absolutely loved it. I wrote a blog post about it called "Don't Judge a Game by Its Cover" because I loved it that much. It had a mix of a little bit like Clue with like moving on the tile, but the hunter versus the agents, and then if you play with the traitor, just amazing. I loved it.
And I agreed. I was surprised by it as well. What wasn't a surprise about playing this game is that the traitor is always Mark. That's always
not
Mark.
True. Not true. They just want you to believe that.
Now, both of these feed into something that I found surprising in 2015, and that is the number of good, unique, collaborative games this year. I've never been really big on collaborative games, but this year there are quite a few of them on my top 10 list, and all very enjoyable, much more accessible in my opinion than they have been in the past.
Yeah, like I said, I think it's the year of co-ops and minis for me.
Yep.
So just a fantastic gaming experience all the way around.
For those of you who haven't had a chance to check out these games, all 5 of these we would highly recommend. Go check out your local game store, play a copy with a friend. 2015 was a great year, and these are 5 of our favorite picks.
So bottom line, this year has been phenomenal for gaming. We've just had a great time. So many great conventions, met so many great people. We want to thank you all for your support and kind words through the year.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Huge thanks.
So, and until next time, we'll see you at the table.
And now, the Secret Santa Awards.
The Secret Santa Award goes to the game that surprised us the most. This is the game that we either didn't expect anything or we expected less than we received. So it's definitely a positive surprise in this category.
And the nominations are Operation Kindergarten, Flip City, Loop Inc., Artifacts Inc., Tiny Epic Galaxies, and Codenames. So let's find out the winner. Let's see.
Hold your breath.
Hold your breath. You might be excited. It's really exciting. Oh.
And the winner is Tiny Epic Galaxies.
Great.
This is the game that we didn't actually believe in at all because we don't play small box games. And we basically just tried it in Essen and we're really amazingly surprised.
Yeah, we don't even like the space theme that much and everything like that. So, and we didn't hear much buzz about the Tiny Epic series as well. So, it was quite a big surprise for me, for Alina even more.
Yes.
We like this game. You can check out our review as well, as we posted it on our YouTube channel. So check this game out. Really great game. Tiny Epic Galaxies. Congratulations.
Hey, for today's Under the Radar, I'm going to be taking a look at several little games that came out this year that I think were very neat little games. They're not necessarily on my top 10 games of the year or anything like that, but it would be a shame if they were missed. And so I wanted to briefly highlight 5 little games that came out this year that I think are worth a second look at the very least. So here we go. First up, Rolling America. This came out from Game Right Games. It is an evolution of Rolling Japan that came out before it, and it's just a wonderful little package. Some nice dice rolling, and you take little notes on your own pad of paper. It's like a logic puzzle almost, with a little bit of luck. Great game for kids and adults to play together. Simple, tiny little footprint. You can play this anywhere. This is a really neat filler. Buy this thing, put it in your car, put it in your purse, take it with you, and bust it out and play it. I think you're gonna like it. Next up, Birds of a Feather. Now, this is one that I wasn't so sure about when I first read it, when I first heard about it, because it seemed a little too simple. And it is really simple, but it's attractive. It's a nice package, plays extremely quickly. You can play this thing in like 10 minutes. And I think it's a worthwhile little card game, especially if you like the theme of bird watching or have a friend or family member who's into bird watching. You have to get them this game. They're going to love it. All right, next up I have here Call of Cthulhu. Call of Cthulhu here is a 2-player card game, which would look, if you look at the box here, it looks like it's going to be a very, very thematic, very heavily steeped in the lore kind of card game. But really, it's one of those tug-of-war card games for 2 players. Think Lost Cities a little bit. It's that style of game, and so it's a very simple push and pull sort of card game with a little bit of that Cthulhu flavor on top of it, and I think it works well. It surprised me because I was not sure I was going to like it, but it turned out to be a much more classic design, like Battle Line, like Lost Cities. So check that out if you're looking for that style of card game for only 2 players, okay? Next up, we are looking here at Mammoose, and this one is a bluffing game through and through. Lying game, pushing your luck. You are trying to make sets of animals and get rid of them, empty your hand of cards, but it's basically one of those games like the old classics where you play a card face down or multiple, and you say what they are, and it's the next player's job to either believe you or say, no, I don't think so, reveal them. In this game, you reveal one single card out of whatever you played, though. So you can try to pull a fast one and slide in one fake card among, say, 3, and just hope if they call you, they don't pull that one. It's a neat little game. Great tiny package also. Good for a nice larger group that enjoys bluffing. Check that one out. And then lastly, another 2-player game. This is a recent discovery for me. And this one is a co-op 2-player game in which you, the theme is that you and your partner are having some sort of relationship trouble, and you are trying to come together and fix your problems, and it's very thinly themed. But the game itself, nice puzzly card game. It reminds me of Onirim a little bit, and that line of little games, which is some of my favorites, especially Onirim. I love that game. And this, while it's not as good as that, it gave me that vibe and reminded me of why I love this style of game so much. Games with very simple cards, very simple play, but a puzzly nature. You gotta check this one out if you like puzzly, simple co-op games. and then we held hands. So there you go. Some little games for you to check out in that came out in 2015, and hopefully you'll see something there that you'll like. And I'll see you next time.
Hey everybody, so this is our end of the year and my designer spotlight is going to be a little bit different this week. I'm going to talk about a designer that has meant a lot to me, especially this past year and for previous years before that. And that designer is one of the designers of Nothing Personal and Vicious Fishes, and that's Tom Vasel. Obviously we can talk about his game. Vicious Fishes is a very old game that he did, and it is an okay game. I know he'll laugh that I said that, but it's not the greatest. But, you know, it was his first time doing a game. Nothing Personal, on the other hand, is a very, very well done game, which I know a lot of you have played, heard about, and it's a game I would definitely recommend. But really what I wanted to talk about is how much Tom means to me, since this is the holiday season and everyone has Christmas tomorrow, and I just wanted to talk a little bit about how he kind of has been great for me this year. You know, I've helped out a lot. I've helped out a lot with doing the show, with doing both stuff on Board Game Breakfast and on Board Game Blender. I got to do a bunch of blogs from different conventions, and it's all because of Tom. And, you know, Tom's great, and he's a great person, and he's a good friend, and it's very nice to have someone like that in my life, and I'm very happy to be able to bring all the stuff that I do to everyone out there who's watching this. You know, you guys are great, and everyone's great. As I say a lot, everything's awesome, and, you know, I feel lucky to be doing this. It's just been an awesome experience, and hopefully next year we'll be able to bring you a lot more content, a lot more things, and I'm just looking forward to whatever happens in 2016. And thank you, Tom, for everything that you have done. Thank you to your family. I am, obviously, when this comes out, the next day will be Christmas. I'm going to be spending it at Tom's house, and, you know, it means a lot that he has me not just in the gaming circles, but in his family circles too. And we've done all sorts of things together, go to zoos, we saw Star Wars, and to me, that's what it's all about. It's about family. I showed you guys during Thanksgiving my niece and my nephews, and I know everyone seemed to get a kick out of that. And now, you know, I get to spend this time with Tom and his family, and it means a lot. And overall, I just want to say that it's been a good year, and I'm very, very happy and thankful for everything that has happened. And that's basically my designer spotlight this week, talking about that designer of Nothing Personal. Let's bring it up again. Great game, and of course that's Tom Vasel.
The next award is the Dominion Award.
This award goes to the most innovative game. This game can either have totally new innovative mechanic, or they can use the older mechanic but in a new fresh way. So either way, this game has to feel innovative.
And feels fresh. Now, and the nominations are Flip City, Race to the North Pole, Spyfall, and Loop Inc.
Let's find out.
What do you think was the game? You have some seconds to figure out. Maybe no. Let's see. Now.
And the winner is
Loop Inc. So, Loop Inc. Is a really cool game. It's more of that card game, but the innovative mechanic of playing cards, and on the new turn, you picking them up and having them played in the same order. It's like looping actions, you know. It's great. You get new actions, but you need to execute the old actions in the same order as you executed them in the previous turns. And for me, it feels fresh, innovative. I haven't seen that in any game before. It's really cool mechanic. They should use that more. It gives to the theme as well. Looping, time travel, and so on.
Absolutely agree.
So, Loop Inc. Congratulations to the Loop Inc.
Hi everybody! Looking back on an entire year is actually kind of tough for me. I just don't know where to start. Thankfully, 2015 is also the year that I started tracking my plays in my handy-dandy app, so I thought I could use this to help me take a look back on my year in gaming. Here are my numbers. According to my app, I've played 189 unique games for a total of 411 plays in 23 different locations and with 136 different individuals. And I'm running at just a 29% win rate. And yeah, I've had a lot of my mathy friends try to cheer me up by taking a look at things like average player count, but trust me, we've been through it all, and I'm just not that good at playing games. And that's okay because I still love doing it. I just apparently don't play a lot of games at home. I'm curious where other people game because looking at my stats, I realize I've played more games in Texas and Florida than I have in my own home. I live in the Seattle area, and we are so lucky up here to have a robust and diverse gaming culture. We have some amazing friendly local game stores, and the cream of the crop, Mock's Boarding House, opened up just a short drive away from me. So I spend a lot of time there playing games with friends and eating French fries. It's a good life. 189 unique games played this year, and I didn't even come close to trying all the games I wanted to. 2015 had a little bit of everything for me. There were big games and little games. There were games from near and from far. There were surprises and oddities. And of course, there were some lows too. But thankfully, there were a lot of highs. A lot of them. And while my gut tells me that this wasn't the greatest year in games for me, it was certainly a very, very good one. And according to my app, I've played with 136 different people. And that's probably pretty low because I didn't start tracking actual people until like mid-year. But no matter what the exact number is, it is the most important number. For me and for many of you, gaming is all about the people. I got to attend 2 local conventions and 2 out-of-state conventions this year. And while playing the hot new games was great, the most important part really was the people. I got to meet and play games with dozens upon dozens of people who sometimes made me laugh or sometimes made me want to flip the table. But it was always fun. I also got to participate in 2 phenomenal charity gaming events, and I, along with my teams, received immense community support. And thanks to the people, maybe even some of you watching, my team raised over $20,000 for Food Lifeline and for the Children's Miracle Network of Hospitals. So yeah, the people who play board games are basically amazing, and that's why friendships formed over a shared hobby have stretched far beyond the game table. So while 2015 will go down as a good year in board gaming for me, it'll go down as a great year in board gaming friends for me. And hey, 2015 is the year of the blender. I've had so much fun rambling about games on this show, and I wanted to tell you thank you from the bottom of my heart for all of your support. I hope that your 2015 in board gaming has been as wonderful as mine, and I hope that all of our 2016s will be even better. See you next time.
Welcome to Boards and Crafts, a place for quick tutorials with snacks and crafts inspired from games, for games, and all about board games. It's nearing the end of the year, and what's a more festive way to celebrate than with fireworks? So today I'm going to show you guys how to create some Hanabi-inspired firework popcorn balls. Let's get started. So the supplies you'll need for these little fireworks are about 2 bags of popped popcorn, a large bowl to mix things in, a bag of marshmallows, a bowl to microwave it all in, some butter, and some food coloring. In a large microwave-safe bowl, microwave about 1.5 tablespoons of butter on high for about 30 to 45 seconds. Add in the food coloring and then mix in about 1/3 cup of marshmallows and mix this in real good to where the colored butter is covering the marshmallows. Then stick it back in the microwave on high for about 1 minute to 1.5 minutes. Pour the melted marshmallows over the popcorn and mix carefully until it is coated. If you want to make it look really nice, pick it up in your hands and kind of crush it up, but be careful because this will be hot. And that's it! If you guys have any ideas for tasty treats or creative crafts, comment below or tweet them at me at RTRobot. Thank you guys for watching, and I hope that you have a happy new year.
And some more. The Matchbox Awards.
This award goes to the either micro game or really small box game. The game that gives tons of fun with really few components.
And gives a lot of depth as well. Now, the nominations are Tides of Time, Guns and Steel, Valley of the Kings Afterlife, Flip City, and the Packer Games collection. Now, you can figure this one out as well. Probably, who knows? What's your favorite? You can put it in the comments as well. But we should find out what we have chosen.
Our
Yeah,
Matchbox game.
this is our Matchbox game.
This is Baco Games.
Backer games, yes. These are, yeah, it's a small cheat because there are 8 different games, but they are all in a small, like tiny pouch that you can take with you.
And you can put literally everywhere.
Yeah, here I have as well, like a gum pack, you know? If you want some gum, no? Or let's play this as well. But the thing is that this game definitely fits everywhere, but it has a lot of great games, this Packer game collection, and we take it as one. We don't take it as separate games. We take it as one pouch that we can use to play some filler micro games between other games or while traveling. So a great traveling collection.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, congratulations, Packer Games.
Hi folks, I'm Rebecca.
I'm Hunter.
Welcome to Player Showdown. 2015 was a phenomenal year both for us as a family and for the gaming industry as a whole. We played a ton of games this year, just the two of us, with our kids, and with our friends.
In addition to gaming, we got to attend a couple of great events. We got to go to West Texas Con. There we got to meet Sam and Zee, and we got to play games with them, and that motivated us to do these videos. And in addition, later on in the year, I got to go to BGG Con without Rebecca, unfortunately. But I had an amazing time, and it's just motivated me to continue to game and become part of the gaming industry. Even though we played tons of games in 2015, some of the big, popular, super hyped games, we didn't get a chance to play those this year. Because we mostly play games 2-player, and we were kind of wary with some of those games, whether they'd be good 2-player or not, but we'll get around to them.
Our favorite game that we played for the first time in 2015, but did not come out in 2015, was a unanimous decision, and that was Viticulture. Viticulture is a very fun game to play. We've played it mostly 2-player. We also played it with more, and we enjoyed pretty much every aspect of the game. The components are beautiful, the artwork.
Yeah, the best thing I like about it is that it's worker placement. I love worker placement games, and this one has all the tension and angst of a good worker placement game where you really want to go to a certain spot, but then someone jumps you and you scream and freak out. And the only thing I really can add to what Rebecca said is this is my favorite game of all time.
Of the games that did come out in 2015, there were so many strong games that we decided to give you a few honorable mentions before we tell you about our favorite ones. My first one is Dominion Adventures. I like card drafting, and this is, again, another strong Dominion game. It's one of my favorites.
My first honorable mention is D&D Dice Masters. I love Dice Masters in general, but the D&D aspect made the game even better because I remember the days when I used to play D&D as a child, and that brought back those memories.
My next honorable mention is Elysium. We both really enjoyed this game as well. It is another card drafting game with a theme that I thoroughly enjoy, and it also includes a unique mechanism.
Yeah, use the pillars to select what you want to buy, and as you buy cards, you take pillars away, limiting what you can buy on future rounds. Really interesting game.
It's very fun. The next honorable mention is New York 1901. This one is an area control game that I found as probably my surprise for 2015. I wasn't sure that I would enjoy this game when I first played it, and it's become one of my favorites.
And my last one I would like to mention before we go into our favorites of the year is Mission Ran Planet. I've been really wanting to play this game, but it's been out of print for so long, and it finally came back into print, and it is an amazing area control game where you send astronauts to Mars and colonize different areas and gather resources for victory points. A great, great game.
And my favorite game of 2015 is Merchants and Marauders Seas of Glory. I have always had a blast playing this game every time it comes out, and The new expansion just added to that. We play with most of the expansions. I really enjoy them, especially, for example, the Storms. There's a couple that we don't play with as much, like the Loyalty. But all in all, it's a very strong addition to the Merchants and Marauders game. I highly recommend Seas of Glory.
Well, my game of the year for 2015, that actually came out in 2015, is Marco Polo. An amazing worker placement game that uses the dice placement mechanism. I love it. You gather resources, you complete contracts, you can travel across the world. So many different paths to victory. An amazing game along the lines of Kingsburg and Alien Frontiers, but much more depth and much more things to do within the game. It's my game of the year.
So all in all, 2015 was a wonderful year. We want to thank all of our watchers and all of our supporters and to all of
Cool catchphrase!
Hey everybody, welcome back to Face Off. Today I am not pitting off two games. Instead, I'm going to be pitting off the year 2015 in gaming to last year, 2014 in gaming. And to do that, as always, I am using my own bias, and I'll be basing this loose discussion quite simply on my top 10 games of the year. I'm going to take my top 10 games of 2015, my top 10 games of last year, 2014, and just look at some statistics. Just basically compare the lists a little bit and see what I thought of the year as a whole compared to my most recent data, okay? So that's basically it. So here we go. My 10 games from this year came from 9 different companies. The repeat there being Space Cowboys, which gave me both Time Stories and Elysium. Last year the games were from 10 different companies. Games that are only for 2. This year, I had 3 of those games. I had Seven Wonders Duel, I had Raptor, and the other one was Tides of Time, only for 2 players. Last year, there was a single game that was only for 2 players. That game was Onitama. Co-ops, which is a favorite genre of mine, and I think this is one of those things that makes this year stand out for me. In 2015, on my top 10 list, I had 3 games. I had Pandemic Legacy, I had Time Stories, and I had Dead Men Tell No Tales. In 2014, I had just one cooperative game, Pandemic The Cure. And co-op games is one of my favorite genres of gaming, which is why this year seems so amazing to me and such a strong year. Ultimately, I think I could say now, if you are a Eurogamer through and through, and that is your one, your biggest type of game, then I could see how last year perhaps was a better year, at least based on, again, my bias and my own list. Last year was a better year for Eurogames, it would seem. This year was better for co-ops. It was better for 2-player games. It was better largely for innovation, it seems. The games on my list, there are more games there that feel like experiments that happen to succeed than anything else. And by that, I'm talking about the Pandemic Legacy, the Time Stories, games that, even Tides of Time, games that you look at and say, ooh, I hope it's good, and they turned out to be amazing games. And last year felt like a much safer year. So there you go. There's an overall look. Ultimately, I went ahead and I looked at what I rated each game from my 10 last year, my 10 this year. And yes, obviously, over time, these ratings might have dropped just a little bit. But the average rating for me from 2014 is an 8.6. My average rating for this year is a 9.0. So exactly 9 points. That's pretty good. That's very good. The highest rated game from last year was a 9.5, and I rate by 0.5. So that's it, as good as it gets, except until I give it a 10. Which I did do this year, and in fact on my top 10 list there are 2 10s. That's impressive. So overall 2015, a really strong year, ultimately I would say, in our little face-off here. It was a better year than 2014. Certainly a more diverse year. A better year for co-ops, a better year for two-player games, both of which I'm a big fan of and I'm very appreciative of. So, while 2014 was no slouch and it gave us a ton of strong Euro games, I'm thinking Five Tribes, Abyss, Imperial Settlers, all of those are just games I'm not getting rid of anytime soon. 2015 gave us things we weren't expecting. Games that came out of left field and left me dazzled with originality, dazzled with strong stories. And so I'm thankful for that. So there you go. That is my face-off, 2014 versus 2015. Thank you, everybody.
Hey there, I'm John from JonGetsGames, and the best trend that I've noticed throughout playing games this last year is that the pool drafting mechanic seems to be becoming more and more popular in games, and I could not be more excited about this because I really love this mechanic. The idea here is that a pool of some resource is put into the middle of the table. It could be dice that are rolled or maybe cards that are shuffled up and drawn out, and then players choose from that resource and they pull them into their hand or into their area. That pool gets smaller and smaller until it goes away, and then you roll more dice or draw more cards. Now this is a kind of a different take on drafting. When most people think drafting cards, they think of a hand of cards that they take one and pass to the left. And I really prefer pool style drafting situations because you don't have memory to compete with and you just really get to think about, will I be able to get this card and that card? And so lots of games have come out with this kind of thing recently. El Gaucho technically came out in 2014, but I played it in 2015, which was great. You have My Village, Grand Austria Hotel, Signori, Biblios Dice, Seven Wonders Duel definitely does that with the cards that are played out. The Networks, which is a game that's technically coming out next year, but it was a Kickstarter that I played, does that. And World's Fair, 1893. I'm sure there's many that I'm missing, but that's just a little list of games that are using this great mechanic, and I am really excited to see even more coming out into the future.
And the last award is the Pavlov Award.
The Pavlov Award goes to the game that is not yet released, but the game that we heard about this year and we're already salivating.
We want it badly already.
Now,
the nominations are Victorian Masterminds, Chronicles Origins, Innis, Four Gods, Tiny Epic Western, and Seafall. Let's find out the winner.
and the winner...
All the winner wanting all the games.
The winners
are... Oh yeah. There are Seafall, Innis, and Tiny Epic Western. Of course, another cheat here. But we really want to see all these games, even all the nominations in this list. We want them to have printed, to be on our table, in our collection, on our shelf. We really think that these games will be great. We don't know for sure, but...
We're quite sure.
Yeah, we're quite sure.
We want them badly, already.
Yeah, you should take a look at these games and check them and see when they come next year or a year after that and give them a try. So, this was our award list for tonight, for this year. Feel free to put in the comments below what are your best games, what are your best games in these awards, in the awards that you may create on your own. Feel free to comment. We want to hear all the opinions.
And you might have noticed that we don't have some well-known games in the list like Time Stories or Pandemic Legacy. These are not on the list, not mentioned for one simple reason. We don't have them, or we haven't played them yet, so...
Yeah, there are many games in 2015 that we will play, but probably next year. There's not much time. We'll also be doing our top games of the year as a separate video on our own YouTube channel, so you should go there. We'll probably do that in January, so wait for that. Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Stay the friends of the blends even next year.
And that is our show, everybody. Thank you so much, both to you, the viewers, and my contributors, for just spending a great year with me. I've been so lucky and have felt so blessed to to have you guys enjoy the show, to have my contributors come on board and help me out with this crazy thing. And I'm just so thrilled that you guys have been here for that ride. And so thank you truly from the bottom of my heart. Thanks for joining us. And we will see you again in January in 2016. So come on back for that. I think the next episode will be 3 weeks from when this episode aired, so a little bit longer than normal. But make sure you come on back for that, all right? So happy holidays, everybody. And as always, thank you for staying a friend of the blend. I'll see you.